Holy hell, today wasn't just another red day. This was a full-on market reversal. SPY dropped hard. QQQ got absolutely crushed. Nvidia, Amazon, Micron, Palantir, all of them saw heavy, aggressive selling that kicked in about a third of the way through the trading session. And if you felt like something snapped, you're not crazy. The entire market shifted into full risk-off mode in a matter of minutes. Here's what's wild. This is exactly what we warned about after Nvidia earnings. That massive gap up, that straight line pump, that was not sustainable. It had all the signs of a bull trap. And today, we watched it unwind in real time. Before we get into the levels, listen, if you want real-time breakdowns of moves exactly like this, the type of stuff that helps you make money on the way up and on the way down, hit that like button and subscribe. Your support helps push this content out so more traders can stay ahead of moves like this. So what actually caused the meltdown today? It was a perfect storm of three things happening at once. First, the Nvidia earnings euphoria turned out to be exhaustion. You cannot rip straight up into all-time highs on semiconductors without taking a breather. Second, profit-taking turned into forced selling. Once the first wave of selling hit, funds dumped into the weakness. And third, market internals flipped instantly. The VIX exploded. Tick readings went deeply negative. Advanced decline flipped red. It was a coordinated shift from risk on to risk off instantly. Let's start with SPY, because the entire market structure starts here. On the daily chart, SPY printed a huge red candle that dropped all the way down to the 100-day moving average, that yellow line on your screen. That level has been a major pivot point in past pullbacks, and today it caught price almost perfectly. You've got your white levels marked cleanly. 654 was and is the level to watch. That's where we need to see buyers hold above to set a counter trend move up. Below that, your next support on the daily is down near 647, and below that, you have a much bigger gap zone around 641. On the upside, if SPY bounces tomorrow, the first real test is a reclaim of that 659 area. Above that, you get into the 663 level, and then we either need to hold above or consider this a new higher low. On the 15-minute chart, this breakdown was textbook. SPY rejected your 675 zone, broke down through 669, then lost 663, and finally flushed into that 654 pocket with a massive volume spike at the end of the day. That spike tells us funds were dumping into the close. Now let's talk QQQ, because this is where the real pain happened. On the daily, QQQ printed a massive bearish engulfing candle. It completely erased multiple prior sessions of gains and closed right onto your support zone around 584. That's a critical level. Lose 581 and there's a straight shot down to 577 and even 569 if things get really ugly. Your upside levels are your resistance lines around 590 to 950, then the 606, but we're nowhere near talking about that right now. The 15-minute chart shows waterfall selling, lower high after lower high, each one weaker than the last. Bulls had zero control. Once we lost the 595 area, it was game over for the session. Nvidia is the stock that lit the match. The one-day chart shows a hard rejection from the 195 zone, and today's candle sold straight down into 180, which is one of your clean white support levels. You can also see how neatly it aligns with the 100-day moving average. That level held for now, but if NVDA loses 182, your next clean downside levels are 178 and then 170. On the 15-minute chart, the pattern is obvious. Nvidia failed to reclaim 196, which was your intraday support turned resistance. That rejection triggered the cascade down to 180. Amazon has been showing weakness for a few sessions, but today confirmed the breakdown. On your daily chart, AMZN broke down through your 226 zone and closed near that 217 area. That 217 area is a real pivot. You can see how it lines up with previous lows and volume shelves. If Amazon loses 217, you're looking at the next supports at 211, and then the big one down at 206. Upside resistance now sits around 226, and that needs to be reclaimed to stop the bleeding. Micron is a perfect example of a stock going from extreme strength to breaking structure. On the daily chart we uploaded, MU completely broke down through 214, then through 210, and is now hovering around your 203 level. That 205 zone is major. You can see previous consolidation there, you can see your white lines clearly marking it, and volume spiked as soon as price arrived. If MU loses 200, your next levels are 196, and then the much bigger zone all the way down near 185. Palantir, and this was one of the cleanest breakdowns of the day, has now broken multiple major support levels. Your chart shows PLTR losing 171, losing 163, and dumping straight into the 154 area by the close. That's a massive move for a stock like Palantir. If PLTR loses 154 tomorrow or early next week, your next supports are 152, 145, and even 140 if the market continues to unwind. And here's what I want to know from you. How did you react to today's drop? Were you buying the dip? Did you sell, or did you sit on your hands? Drop a comment below and let me know how you handle days like this. And second, what stocks do you want me to analyze and chart next? I'm looking to start incorporating viewer requests every week. And be honest, are you nervous right now, or do you see this as opportunity? Look, days like this are where wealth is made. When markets are green for weeks and everyone is euphoric, you don't build your future there. You build it during moments of fear. You build it by having a plan, using key levels, and staying disciplined. Whether the market continues down or bounces, there is money to be made both ways, and this channel will show you how to take advantage of both. So if this breakdown helped you out today, hit that like button. It helps push this video out across YouTube, especially when small channels like ours get buried during slow weeks. Subscribe so you never miss the next move, and share this with someone who needs confidence during market chaos. I'll see you in the next video. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and let's build that generational wealth together.